So welcome back to the tent. We spend a lot of time down here, and one of the things that makes this so special, for us anyways, is that we're surrounded by white pines. And these white pines are pretty important to this site because they give a shade, they protect from the wind, and it just gives that, I don't know, it just looks nice. Especially this big tree right above us. In rainy weather, we can get underneath here and sit at the fire and stay relatively dry. So it would be a shame to lose any of them or all of them. But we have one pine here that is showing some signs of stress. The needles are turning brown. They're starting to drop off, where all these other pines are showing new growth. This one is not. I went online, and I'm not an expert on this by any means, but I went online and found that one of the things that affect pine trees in general is pine bark beetle, and there's different species of pine bark beetles. So we're going to look at this tree, we're going to peel the bark back and try to identify what species of pine bark beetles has infected it. And you can tell that by the galleries or the little tracks they make underneath the bark. So we're going to peel some bark back, we're going to take a look at it. We're going to cut this tree down. I would rather sacrifice one tree than lose all these trees, because if we lost all these white pines around our tent site, it would be a shame. It wouldn't be the same. So I was told that most likely these beetles won't infest the other trees. But in my research, I found that they very well could. You don't know if any of these other trees are stressed, and that seems to be the deciding factor whether these beetles can get a hold on the tree and start to cause problems. If the tree is stressed, it's weak, it gives it the beetles an in, so to speak, to get in there and in numbers and kill that tree, and that seems to be what's happened here. Now, we did have 2 years ago a gypsy moth infestation, and it was pretty devastating. We were able to spray and pretty much keep those caterpillars off these trees, but some of them ended up with a lot of them on them. They lost some needles. I think this was one of them. So that could have been the deciding factor in weakening this particular tree and allowing these bark beetles to get into it and cause its demise. So in the interest of all the other trees, which seem to be healthy, we are going to cut this tree down and we're going to burn it. But first, let's dig into that bark and see exactly what we have. It'll be pretty interesting. Let me show you this tree. So we got these good healthy trees, and they're surrounding our site. And then we have this tree. You can see that it's not doing too well. Another thing that we're looking at is these little holes right here. That's frass or sawdust where the beetles have chewed in. So you can see the count of how many holes are in here. I mean, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. Got here, here. It's got a pretty good infestation. You can also see the sawdust and the frass that's up there. This is from them boring in. You can really see the number of holes that these beetles have bored into this tree. And we'll go take a look at a healthy tree and you'll see none. So this tree is about the same size. It's right adjacent to that tree, and you don't see any signs of bark beetle boring. I don't see any of those bark beetles on any of the adjacent trees. So I hate to lose one tree, but I'll lose one to save the rest. Chances are these beetles won't migrate to the other trees, but I'm not going to take that chance. So we're going to peel the bark back on this tree and take a look at the the paths that the beetle and the larvae are making underneath the bark to try to identify what pine bark beetle it is. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but we'll take a look, and maybe someone can, someone that's more knowledgeable than me can post in the comments and tell us what they are. So I think this is where they start, and then they radiate out. They lay the eggs in these paths, and then the larvae radiate out from that and then chew into the bark. I think these are one of two beetles, either the engraver beetle or the southern pine bark beetle. Someone comment down below and let me know. Either way, this tree's coming down. There's a lot of beetles in that one little section right there, and the whole tree's infested. So we got a lot of rain the other day, and my food plots that were ready to plant are pretty wet. Hopefully by tomorrow they'll be dry enough and we'll get them planted. So there's a real easy way to carry brush if you've got to move it a long distance, especially big branches like this that I don't want to cut up into small pieces. I'm going to drag them out of here in one piece. I got my tow strap, and we're just going to pile the brush on the tow strap, cinch it around the base, hook it to the wheeler, and be gone. We're just going to put our, cinch our cord around here. I like to try to wrap it up through these branches up here. Hook it up here. This pile's been here a long time. This is one of the original piles from when I cleared this field. But it mainly consisted of buckthorn, and buckthorn is, I don't know, it's just very airy. You can't crunch it down, you can't cut it up. It's just, if anybody's dealt with buckthorn, you know what I'm talking about. But I've tried numerous times to burn it, and I could just never get it to burn. It would burn little pockets, and then that would be it. But this pine was the catalyst that got it burnt. That's a good thing. So we're killing two birds with one stone. We're getting rid of this pile, and we're getting rid of that pine tree. Ooh, I gotta move. Let's get over here. So we had a really heavy frost here a week ago. It's going to be 70 degrees today. Everything's greened up. All the feral grapes had thrown out their new shoots. Everything was greened up. And then we get a killing frost. And I'll show you some of the damage that happened because of that killing frost. These are little ash saplings. Look at here. These are all the grapes that come up. They're feral grapes, but all this fresh growth gone. Here's some more grapes. So we probably won't have very many grapes on these feral grapes. And feral grapes are just domestic grapes gone wild. This used to be vineyard on this whole hillside. And so their first growth got burned off by the frost. They'll throw a secondary set of buds and leaves. There'll be a few grapes on those, but not like the first growth. That's where all the buds are for for the grapes for this year. They actually formed last year, and then they produced those grapes this year, so those are all gone, unfortunately. So I put some honeybee swarm traps up about a month ago. It was way too early, I know, but I haven't had any luck catching any. Perhaps I won't catch any. I don't know what I'm doing. I just put 3 of them up. So the weather has been pretty poor for bees, I think. We've had some warm spells, but they're very brief, and then we get into those cold snaps and cold and rainy. So this week and next week are probably the best weeks we've had as far as consistent warm temperatures. So I haven't really seen a lot of honeybees. I've been looking at the flowers and on the dandelions, which are all gone. I saw a couple honeybees in my yard a couple weeks ago, but even looking at the flowers around here, there's nothing. No bees. So I don't know if there's just no bees here, or the weather hasn't been productive. We're in upstate New York, so I think the bees, from what I've gathered, swarm late May, June, July. So we're late May now, so perhaps it's a little too early. I don't know. I might have to buy some bees. That's what I figured. If I didn't catch a swarm, which the chances were pretty slim that I would, that I'd just try to buy some bees. So maybe we'll do that. I got my hives all set up and ready to catch some bees, but so far no luck. Again, it's a little early. Let me know. Is it too early? Probably. Has the weather been good for the bees or not? I don't know. So anyways, that's my tale. I'm sticking to it. Hey, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and please comment down below. We've got a couple things that like the beetle in the tree. I need some answers for that. The bees, we need some answers for that. Thanks. Have a good day. See ya. See ya. It's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. I'm an idiot. Okay. We're gonna walk up over here, look at our wildflowers. See ya.